right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. You give a big ladies and gentlemen. My boy White Boy is streaming right now. I was watching his stream before we went live here. I've had Lamar up, and I watched a bit of practice, most of practice. I didn't see qualifying, so I went back and watched after the fact. I saw Bowman actually recovered and did kind of decent. Today, we have a Pocono O'Reilly race. Hoping it's good. Let's look at our starting grid. Two Toyotas up there. Byron. I'm not sure what we'll see today out of Byron. He usually doesn't run that well in the 88, which is interesting. Allgaier, Sammy Smith, Quaffle. Now, I know Zilich is in the field. A lot of people have called Zilich out for being a potential winner of today's race, but this will only be his second time, I think, at the track. So, but he won it his first time. We know that. Here he is in the one today. Corday just outside the top 10. I'll be keeping an eye on Austin Hill, see if he can move up through the field. Not a great starting spot for him. No huge surprises further back. We have Carson Ware and Natalie Decker in the field. That should be fun. 35 and the 53. Watch out. Brennan Poole, decent starting spot. All right, we'll see how it goes. I mean, a lot of contenders at the front of the field. I wouldn't be surprised to see really anyone out of the top 17, you know, up there contending. I'm not going to say they're going to have winning pace. Ryan Sieg, top 10 right now. Not bad. Not bad. So I need to go ahead and check in for today's race for the NASCAR Fan Rewards program. So let me take care of that. There we go. All right, I am checked in. I've earned 50 points. Cheers. I have my Kool-Aid, my beverage of choice for today. I also have a Diet Coke, so the sugar from the Kool-Aid is offset by the dietness of the Diet Coke. It's good stuff. I like the feeling of the bottle. It's like plastic, but it's like waxy. Coke Zero. No, no. No. In a moment of weakness, I almost bought the Coke, the Diet Coke, caffeine free. And I was like, no, I need a little caffeine in my life. All right, car should be rolling, right? Let's go ahead and look at today's race summary. Fuel window is 39 laps. All right, cars are rolling. Going 100 laps. Byron had a really good practice lap. It's me and I'm missing Christian because Jennerstown has a busy night, so we won't really be able to talk. Potentially could be the same thing for me, Stacey. We might be in the same boat. My wife is going to the beach, potentially tonight, with her sister and her sister's husband. I was invited, but I don't want to take off of work Monday and Tuesday. That, you know, I'm still a bit injured. My left side is still not right. I was feeling a little better yesterday. until I sneezed. I was kind of like stretching in a weird position, and I sneezed suddenly, and it like tore, or it felt like it did, in my chest, right where I'm hurt, and that just made it worse. But I've been taking some Aleve as needed. That helps a ton, but it doesn't help with the swelling that much. Still really swollen. I'll be solo dolo this weekend. But that's good. That'll give me a few days to, like, we can stream, obviously, but it'll give me time to focus on studying for some exams. Brandon Jones on standby for Bell. Not a bad choice. Makes sense. He can go straight from 120 car to the other. He's not going to miss his pit stall. That would be funny if it was Brent Cruz as the stand-in and he pulled into Briscoe's pit box. That would be absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Where is Jesse Love? Oh, dear. Yeah, 21st. Not a great starting position. We've kind of seen this recently out of Jesse Love. Doesn't qualify well or has to start further in the field. And eventually he's able to work himself up into the top 10. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to be watching the RCR guys. A lot to keep our eye on. I want to see if Parker can gain a few spots here, but it's a stout field ahead of him. There's not really that many guys that you don't expect to be up here. And like on occasion, Sammy and Carson Quaffle might like drop down to around 15th or so, but they usually work their way back into the top 10 at some point, or they're right on the cusp. Sam Mayer is similar. And then we have all the Gibbs guys up here. Byron, Allgaier, like, they should be locked for the top 10. Corey Day has been running in the top 10 a lot this season, just outside of it. So it's a stout field. Any of these guys could be competing for a top 10, outside of maybe Brennan Poole. I think he's a good driver. I just don't think the 44 is that fast. Stacey says she's leaving in 45 minutes, so won't be on long. Well, we will cherish the time we have. And then we will go our separate ways. All right, the cars are lined up. This is a really long track, so the pace laps take forever. Forever. So we need to see how long this is. I wish I timed it out, how long a pace lap was. That way we could kind of predict when we're going to go back green after stages and after cautions. I've seen that 8 car, the O'Reilly scheme. It's kind of plain. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think it's ugly, but it's not good either. A driver that was suspended from an incident 2 weeks ago is apparently seen on track grounds. Just hanging around? I mean, this, so like, suspended at, I guess, Jennerstown, is that like you can't show up at all, or you just don't drive? Because if you're not supposed to show up, it's a little weird, a little suspicious. All right, we're coming out of turn 6 or turn 5 or turn 3, whatever you call it. We are coming out of the final turn. onto the front stretch. 2 JGR guys up front. 2 JRM guys behind them. Green flag is out. The outside line has a little advantage. Brandon Jones with a really good jump. He may already be clear. Nope. That inside's going to battle back into 1. Brent Cruz slipped out of the outside groove there. Going to lose a couple. Oh, no! Corey Day around. Love. And Corey Day's out of the race. Love might be out of the race. Corey Day's done. Lap 1. A massive crash. He lost it out of 1. Came across the track. Collected Jesse Love. And that's pretty... I mean, they may be able to get that car rolling again, but I would be worried about radiator damage for that too. The front end is pretty smashed in. That's the price you pay for qualifying back in the field. Good night, Corey Day. You know, we've seen him win a couple, but he still has a lot to work on. And this is, you know, one of the things. I don't know. This might be Corey Day's... I don't know if it's his first time here. I don't know if he raced here in ARCA. But it's probably at least one of his first times here. You aren't supposed to show up if you're suspended, but apparently she did. Your dad isn't even racing tonight, so we don't know why she showed up. She's just lonely. We can relate, right, Stacy? She's missing her fellow competitors. Why did she get suspended? Was it like an intentional wreck? She slapped somebody? Good night. Did Corey Day's window pop out? It was going to be a hard hit either way, but man, it's a shame Jesse Love was involved. That could have just been a single car incident. Oh, wow. Punched. Not even a slap. When I said slap, I was like, I may have just misspoke there. That's wild. Yeah, I mean, you can't really have that happening. Especially, like, if it's 2 dudes and they fight, maybe you still suspend them. Probation, maybe. But, like, if you're a woman and you punch a guy, they can't really do anything back. You know? It's really looked down upon. So it puts the guy in a bad position. And then you don't want the chance that somebody does get heated and does retaliate. That would be really bad. So I mean, I guess it was for the best. It's kind of like when what they run into nowadays in WWE with the mixed gender wrestling. You don't see it often. Even though they do let the women hit up on the men, come in there and slap them around. But they don't do cross-gender matches anymore. I'm out of Kool-Aid. I'm not sure what the policy is there at the track. Like, if fighting is generally like an immediate suspension. So look at our new top 10. Zilich moved up a few spots. Retzloff, I believe, stayed about the same. Sieg lost a few spots. Austin Hill up a couple spots, I believe. And then Love and Day, the two cars involved. That's a shame. Seems like they took Love off the track. He's going to the garage. I don't know if they'll be able to get it back out on track. Maybe a day ender for Jesse Love. Oh, I have to adjust the leaderboard. Turn on manufacturer. Move that way up. Turn on best lap. Move that way up. And apply. And then move that over. Alright, that works. That works. Now you have more information. Man, we didn't even make it a lap. We did not make it a lap. They didn't even have Corey Day scored for a lap. He didn't cross the start-finish line a single time. Started the race, didn't even complete a lap. Not even, I mean, hardly a straightaway. He said she walked up and he about took his helmet off. He was happy he did until she walked away. Very smart. It's very smart. I can't pop my back because my chest is killing me. It's fine. That's fine. Shame we're already under caution. I swear, it should be a rule. It should be a rule. If we have 2 cautions in any stage, first stage, second stage, whenever, then we cancel the stage caution because it eats up so much time. You know, Denny Hamlin, some of these guys have been talking about shortening the races. We don't need to shorten the races. We need to get rid of the stage cautions. You know, the broadcast, they're going to go to commercial either way. It can be 5 laps to go at Talladega. Boom. Cut to commercial. It doesn't matter. So the argument that we have to have stage cautions does not hold up. But, I mean, maybe if you stay green, you still throw them. But if you get 2 cautions in any stage, boom. And if you get a caution within 5 to 10 laps of the stage break, you don't throw the stage caution. It would greatly speed up the length of these races. Plans to have his car fixed by mid-July. Not a lot of time between now and then. It goes by fast. They're just doing a Corey Day wreck highlight reel. Welcome, J. Augustus, or maybe it's Jagustus. You'll have to correct me on that. Good to have you here. We're just tuned in here watching the O'Reilly race at Pocono. Corey Day already out, involved in a big one, or a big hit. It wasn't a big one as in multiple cars. Let me go ahead and pull up a replay of that. We'll probably have one already. CW Sports. All right, so this is from the green flag. This is how long Corey Day was in today's race. So that's the green flag. All right, into one. See Corey Day back here. Comes around. Bang. Collects Jesse Love and a hard impact to the inside wall. Just a massive hit there for Day. Think about if he didn't hit Jesse Love first. I mean, that would have been an even harder impact. I think his window came out. You see something slide back across the track. Right there. I don't know if that's a window, but it looked like one. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Corey. Denny Hamlin fan. Corey Day had a bad day. We literally just started the race. This is out of the first corner. Jesse Love already in trouble. I think a little what happened is maybe some air got packed there. I'm not. Can't really speak to exactly what happened there. Maybe he just cooked it a little too hard and had too much wheel input on corner exit and it just came around on him. Man. Let's see what this comment says. Kind of hard to win the race on lap 1, bruh. I think that's a stupid comment. Corey Day wasn't like doing anything crazy to put himself in a bad position. You gonna make wings? That sounds good, Hamlin fan. Good to see you, Doodlebug. I usually use my arms to sit up. I push down on the armrest and I sit up, and now I can't with my left arm. But we're doing a little better. I just want to go back to Top Golf. And I can't until we heal. Zoom in here. So what led Jesse Love to be there? Was he going low to avoid? Yeah, I mean, you kind of see him. You see Jesse Love go low here. They get a little squirrely in front of him, right? So you see these guys, they're all pointed in different directions. They're going for a normal line exit. I think whoever this is on the inside sees it. He's going to take a more shallow exit. But I mean, these guys are all over the place. And so Jesse Love reacts. He could have just stayed in his line, and he probably would have had they have stayed going straight. But he reacts early. Starts heading down the track. And that puts him just perfectly in line to make contact with Corey Day. Hate it for Jesse Love, but that's what happens when you get a poor qualifying spot. All right, Stacy, we'll see you tomorrow. Hope you're able to find something to occupy your time with tonight. And I hope you're able to hear from Christian as needed. Ow. Yeah, Denny Hamlin got the pole. That's right. He, at one point, had the fastest practice time. But then Larson beat him on raw pace. Barely. I mean, it was by like 2/10 or something. And then they showed the 10-lap averages, and Denny actually had like a 10th or 11th place 10-lap average. It was a bit slower. Still enough to be competitive, but I'm wondering if that's just because Denny didn't run a ton of laps. Oh, no. Multiple cars around. Sitting here talking about practice times, and we have another caution. Ryan Sieg. I didn't even say anything today, but I was thinking it. I was like, Ryan Sieg starting 9th. I wonder when he's going to wreck. And then here we go. That's good, Stacy. I need to get out to my local track. My wife's potentially not going to be here tonight. I could, and like my buddy can't play Call of Duty because he cut his internet line by mistake. So we may go to our local track. I might even try to stream from there. Just see what time this race wraps up, and then when they start down there, that would be fun. So Nathan Bird involved. Ryan Sieg involved. That's, again, potentially day ending there for Ryan Sieg. Speedway, the Speedway. Let me, I gotta find their schedule. A lot of guys just got stacked up there. It was like 4 cars. All kind of came together there. Ah, so all just bottled them up. Potentially. That was in the greatest replay angle. Just looking over you. I miss you like crazy. I miss you like crazy. Every hour of every day. All right, what day is it? It's the 13th. They don't have anything up there for today. Did they race on Thursday? Or no, they posted something on Thursday. Also, there is racing tonight. Modified, Sportsman's, Super Stock, Pure Stock, Hot Shot, Buzz. But I don't see a schedule for tonight. Here we go. Are they not racing? This says June 14th. I don't know if this is a typo, but they posted. They never race on Sunday. This qualifying 6 p.m. Are they actually racing? Oh, that's for last year. Yeah, they don't update their website very often. Let's see if I can find out on their Facebook. Jackie says tomorrow morning in the final hour of Le Mans is when the gloves will come off at Le Mans. Everyone will put it on the line for both racing immortality and a life-changing, prestigious win. It's been fun watching it so far. I'm not sure what happened to the 34 Corvette. I was watching their in-cars, and then I had the True TV broadcast up. And when I went back to the in-cars, the 34 was on pit road and then just gone. The camera disappeared. So I didn't see what happened to the 34. That was the Turkey Team Racing by TF or something. I forget. I'm not super up to date on the entries for this year. I really didn't pay much attention up until today. But I have my Corvette racing hat on to support the Corvettes. Yeah, it's fun watching the multi-class. I like seeing the speed differentials, and that creates a challenge. Because like if you're, competing for the win in your class, you're driving into the corners deep, especially if you're in one of the faster divisions. You may have to back off on a corner and sacrifice some pace, or like take a different entry. That way you can make a better exit and cross a slower car over. And there's all kinds of different stuff that multi-class racing can introduce. But a lot of times you just see slower cars run over the leaders. So it is on our Facebook. Yeah, I have the Facebook pulled up. Do they actually broadcast the races on FM radio? So they have national anthem invocation stuff at 6:50. I could potentially go to that. I don't know if I'll have service there, like enough to stream, but it would be fun to test it out. All right, let's see if the CW has posted. See if they have a replay of that last caution. Not yet. Corey Day already out and out of the infield care center, it looks like. All right. We don't have a replay yet of why we were under caution this last time, but we are back under green flag. They're going 3 wide into 1. Brandon Jones going to back out of it there. Wisely, they are 3 wide through turn 1, though, further back. Sam Mayer gaining a couple spots there. Could this be the day for Sam Mayer? Arno Zilic currently in the top 10. Ooh, they are close. William Byron might wreck somebody. That got close. Good night, that was a melee. Byron's fighting for his life in the pack. This isn't a bushwhacking situation. All right, so we do have a replay now of why we were under this last caution period. This was our last caution. Not the greatest angle to see exactly what happened there. But it was just several cars getting together. See if you can see Swatch getting into the wall here. No, he's coming off the wall here. And that kind of sets all this off, it looks like. Rooting for the 88 to win tonight? Or today? All right, Taylor Gray just set the fastest lap. Byron back into the top 5 here. Whoa! Whoa! Sammy Smith just drove it underneath Carson Quaffle, put it right on his left rear. I thought Carson Quaffle was going to come around. He got a little upset, but he didn't get too shaken. But my goodness, it is risky to run somebody right there. You know, you can pack air on their spoiler, but also that's a teammate. You really can't race a teammate that hard this early in the race, but Sammy Smith did it. That was close. You need Jason in here. Jason, I hope he's resting his knee. Or just getting rest in general. I know he was up really late the other night because of those storms. He had tornado-warned storms just north of him and just south of him. Like, they split him. There were a ton of tornadoes that went through Illinois, through Indiana. I think maybe in my sleep a couple days ago, I bit my lip really bad, and it just hurts constantly. Just resting up against my tooth. All right, Sammy Smith going to lose a few spots here. Hoffel and Brent Cruz getting past him. Taylor Gray has a 2-second advantage right now. Could today be an all-Guyer day? Can he get up there? Or if Byron gets track position, does he have anything for the leaders? Zilich hanging around 10th right now, not really moving through the field. Zilich going to help out Sammy Smith there to get back by Brent Cruz. Especially further back in the pack, you can tell their momentum draft, like it's momentum racing. They're drafting off of each other. Very arrow heavy right now. Whoa! Brent Cruz just off center push Zilich through the corner. Zilich is going to lose several spots here potentially. But Brent Cruz pushed him on his left rear through the corner. I don't know how Zilich didn't come around there. If I'm Zilich, the next time I get to Brent Cruz, I'm not cutting him any slack. I am using him up. Not going to say I'm going to wreck the guy, but I'm not cutting him any slack at all. What's up with people racing like this today? They're trying to get to the finish line first so they can go back and watch the end of the, I won't say the end, but the second half of the Le Mans race. We're about to go into the nighttime portion. That's when the weird stuff happens in 24-hour racing. You get some weird stuff. You get some of the lower class cars taking out the leaders of the overall. You get part failures. A lot of times that's when teams will also do brake changes and such. Whoa, man, I have another caution. That's Natalie Decker. It's like a engine let go. I was wanting to say right front. I thought I saw something, but the tires are up, so I guess it's just an engine. Caution is out. Jason's welcome, Jason. Welcome. You made it. That's hilarious. Good to have you here, Jason. We've had a caution-filled race so far, Jason. If you haven't been able to see it, I'll pull up some of the replays for you. So this was lap 1. They get going. They go through turn 1. And you'll see further back, that second HendrickCars.com car gets sideways, comes down the track, and takes out Jesse Love. That was our first caution. Then we have another caution just a few laps later. Couple unconnected incidents. Ryan Sieg taken out, and that was Nathan Bird as well. And then Natalie Decker just blew a motor. So that is a recap of what's happened so far. Where's my mouse? There it is. I have 3 screens. Sometimes I lose my mouse. I don't know where it is. I think there's a shortcut on the keyboard that you can use to find your mouse. It'll like blink with this little thing. So Austin Hill in the top 10. Connor Zilic, so he got used up there by Brent Cruz. Brent Cruz ran him not even close. I mean, he was pushing him off center through the corner. All right, split strategy. Some of our leaders are staying out. The rest are coming in. Allgaier was the first of the cars pitting. Carson Quaffle also on pit road. For sure, Jason, for sure. Hope you're having a good Saturday. I hope that knee's feeling better. So these guys may be flipping the stage. They may have just said that on the broadcast. Oh, there's an uncontrolled tire. Someone has a tire rolling across the track or across pit road. That's a penalty. Good night. I want to be an ASE master technician. Everything's going great after the storms. It's been a good but slow day at work. Ran out of freight, so he came home. Not bad, not bad. Knees been bothering you a little bit. Had a bad dream last night, though. Oh dear. Was it about the one-armed man? Let's look at our casualties for today. Oh wow, look at this. Already have 5 cars out of today's race. They're not ruled out. They'll turn red once they've been ruled out of the race completely. But Corey Day's definitely done. Decker's definitely done. Ryan Sieg, even with the heavy contact, still on the lead lap, apparently. And Cold Custer having a rough go of it, apparently. I think pretty much everyone else is happy Natalie Decker's out. She threw a tantrum last time she was in a car. Made a lot of people really upset with her. Kind of just a waste of space. And like the fact that she's in O'Reilly when she never did anything impressive in trucks at all. She just brings sponsorship money. You had a dream that you died and Trisha had to come in the chat and break the news to you guys? That's terrible. That's terrible. Did it have anything to do with the weather? Did the tornado hit you? I was watching, Jason. I was watching very closely. I saw you had a warning above you. You had a warning to the south of you. So, I mean, it was close. But luckily, the line kind of hit and, you know, made it through without dropping any other tornadoes in your area. It was close. It's just been so wild for the Midwest this year. And really nothing in Dixie Alley. All right, lights are out on the Corvette. They're about to go back green. See if ever. Well, we won't have a replay of Natalie Decker blowing an engine. May have a video of her. Never mind. Blowing an engine. That's what I was gonna say. Let's see if we have a video of anything else. No. I wish there was another angle post of that Ryan Sieg wreck. I still don't really understand what happened there. I don't know if they showed a better angle on broadcast, because anytime I was looking out over at my TV, I didn't really see a great angle. Disappointing. Oh, massive heart attack? Oh my goodness. That's not a great dream. Not a great dream. I usually don't have bad dreams, but occasionally I'll have a bad one. Did I see a map? I haven't seen a map, but I had it up on, I have a radar app. I just zoomed in manually. Went over to Indiana, and then I found Muncie, and then I went a little southwest, and I was like, okay, there it is. All right, 3 wide. 4 wide in turn 1. Good night. Dude, Sam Mayer has speed. Sam Mayer has serious speed. He's going to get a little side draft here. Gray is going to have a little advantage here into the tunnel turn. How close can Mayer keep it? Maybe a little contact there out of the tunnel turn. They were close. And William Byron's right there waiting in the wings. He should probably go help his Chevy manufacturer teammate. Mayer is going to have a better run down the front stretch. He has the lead. Sam Mayer to the lead. Now he's going to go to work breaking the draft. And William Byron in between two Toyotas. What does Byron do here? If he makes one wrong move, he's going to lose a couple spots. You stop drinking Mountain Dew before you go to bed? Yeah, I've heard sugar can do it. I don't know how true that is. I'm somebody that eats a lot of sugar, especially before bed. I'll get a couple of giant scoops of peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I would probably be 10 pounds lighter if I didn't eat peanut butter. Good stuff. But then I would have no muscle. That's also the majority of my protein intake. Is just peanut butter. Copious amounts of peanut butter. All right, side by side for the lead. 1 lap to go in stage 1. Oh, Mayer overdrove turn 1. It's going to take him out of contention potentially for this first stage. Oh, no. William Sawalich in the wall. Oh, we have multiple cars around, including Connor Zilic. Our defending race winner, Connor Zilic, around. So Gray gets the stage win after Sam Mayer slipped up a couple times. And Sawalich in the wall. And Connor Zilic around. Doesn't look like there's like a crazy amount of damage on that car, but we need a shot of the rear. Looks like he may have damage on the left rear especially. Sawalich also doesn't look like he has a crazy amount of damage. I can't do voices. I suck at voices. Occasionally I can like drop into the zone. It was a while back. I did a Trump voice and I actually had it nailed. And then the next day I tried to do it and lost it. I can't do it. Can't do it. The dialect? No, I'm not. No. The most I could do is do a live AI voice-to-voice translation. Which I've thought about recently. Not for these streams, but for a gaming stream. I think that would be funny. Just doing in the voice of Obama. Or whoever. Nice Bernie Sanders impression. You can do that now. Live voice to voice. There might be a little delay, but I'm not sure how much it is. I love hearing stories about Christopher Walken. Some of the things he says. It's just absurd. So I believe these are our stage results. Austin Hill getting a stage point. And if Brent Cruz hadn't have dumped Zilic earlier, pretty much dumped him, Zilic probably stays clear of that last accident. I still don't know exactly what happened there. Still noted as running, but he's going to be the last car in the running order. Sawalich didn't suffer as much there. Not yet, at least. What could have happened? Now watch this drive. It's crazy. He went up there and just crushed it too. So I think I've kind of haven't figured out what I need to fix. And like, obviously there's a lot I can fix in my swing, but I need to stop my shoulders and arms from traveling as far. Right now it's majority shoulders and arms. So someone broke it down for me and it kind of clicked mentally. Back into your backswing, and then you just kind of drop it to level. You get your left arm and right arm straight, and once they're back straight, the rotation of your body carries you through. Now, how to do that and actually hit the ball, I still don't know. There's this new golfing game. Well, they actually are doing a Top Gun 3. I don't know when, but they've already announced it. They're also doing an Edge of Tomorrow sequel, so that'll be cool. Days of Thunder 2 is rumored to be in the works, but I'm not sure when or if that's going to get done because Tom Cruise is getting old, and at some point it's going to be unbelievable for him to be in a car. So, you know, they got to get on that. Yeah, Cookout sounds good. But they made a golf game, and it's called like Totally Normal Golf Game or something like that. And you have to swing, like, you use your mouse to swing the club, and like you can top it, you can hit it fat. It's crazy. And then they added another mechanic. Then you have to worry about the club head alignment, if it's open or closed. And they just keep adding in more mechanics. So there's like 20 buttons you're having to hit and control the swing. It's insane. I'm sure there's somebody that can do well at that game, but it looks nuts. There's no way they could put it on console. There's too many controls. The next Happy Gilmore? No, I don't think so. I injured myself because, I mean, overuse, number one. That's probably the main cause, but also completely improper form. But where my ball speed was, I just a couple days before I got injured, I hit my highest like ball speed, which is still way below like what it should be at, but I got it up to 130, and I was happy about that. So with better hip and body rotation, I might be able to really crank it. All right, we do have a replay now. What happens here? Connor Zilich and William Sawalich both hit the wall in the last lap. Is that really just these weren't connected incidents, or they were? I mean, they're so close together. Like, was Sawalich just following Zilich? And I don't know what happened here. All right, here we go. Here we go. What? Sawalich just lost it underneath Zilich and took Zilich out. That's way worse than I thought it would be. They make it sound like Zilich and Sawalich, unrelated to each other, just both got into the outside wall. But nope. I mean, look at him. Just takes him out. I didn't even have to break this down. It's pretty self-explanatory what happened here. What is that? And look at this angle. At one point, Sawalich has to the outside wall. I mean, he's already catching the car here. That could have been a lot worse. Looks like some pretty good damage to the right side and rear of Swalic's car, so I'm not sure how much speed that car's going to have. He really wasn't competing for even the top 10. He was just outside the top 10. Swalic, he gets into the wall here a bit. We can probably see it better in this first replay, or that, you know, it happening live. So I don't know how bad that damage is to the left rear of Zilic. But then when they show him coming around the track, I'm not sure if they'll show. Yeah. It kind of looks pushed in here. Let's zoom in on that. It kind of looks pushed in. So I'd be a little worried about that affecting the side force of the car. Who knows? I mean, this could benefit him somehow, but that also looks a little bowed out. I'm not sure how normal that is. I feel like we've been under commercial for the last 15 minutes. I mean, most of this race has been a commercial so far. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. We're at 15 caution laps, and that's over half of our laps right now. Lap 28, 15 caution laps. So that's the world we're in. We could already be done or almost done with stage 2. Zilic not having a great day. Yeah. I don't know if he had anything for him, if he had gotten track position and gotten up front, but yeah, they just didn't put it together today. I think Zilic kind of lost his swagger. He had a lot of momentum last year, a lot of confidence, and then he came into Cup and he's really been put in this place, which happens to a lot of rookies. And I think that's kind of spilled over into his performance in the O'Reilly series, because we know he knows how to win in these cars, but especially now that he's part-time and also down on confidence, I think we're seeing the byproducts of that. Swalic just lost it. Took out Zilic. End of story. How many cars has Swalic junked recently? I feel like this has been a thing. You did cut your long hair off? I haven't yet. I might. It's getting frustrating. I also have really long sideburns. You guys can't see it because I have these this headset on. Why do I have the headset on? Not even using the headset. I have the sound playing on the TV. Now you guys can see my sideburns. Long. We're back racing. Junior Motorsports teammates up front battling really hard. Carson Quaffle with a slight advantage here. He's going to be clear down the straightaway. Allgaier are very patient there. I've been doubted before, Gunter. I use your government name because I feel the disrespect. Brandon once told me I would never be 6 foot tall. I would never get to 6 foot tall. And boy, how I proved him incorrect. So now that your seeds of doubt have been planted, you're going to be proven wrong. It may take 10, 15 years. Oh, but it will be there. It will exist. I will get hair taken from my head and put on my face, transplanted, just to prove you wrong. The disrespect was palpable. Parker Retzloff, top 5 right now. Don't look. I know part of this is just strategy. Guys that pit earlier. Where is Brent Cruz, Taylor Gray? They're further back. So Taylor Gray just inside the top 10. He's going to have to work himself back up to the front of the pack. Now, if you're the leader here and you had the option to take stage points, or if you really just want to go for the win and you want track position, you could, in theory, pit a few laps early. And this track is so long, I don't think you would go a lap down. I think you could potentially get back out in front of the cars behind you. But Quaffle and Allgaier, if they wanted to do that, they need to work together here, not run side by side. It'd be close. He's talking about me. He's just a perennial hater. All right, Allgaier with the lead here. Can Quaffle keep it close, or is Justin going to gap them a bit here? That can make it a bit easier to make the decision to short pit, but if you're one of the only guys flipping the stage, it doesn't matter. Like, if no one else is going to come down and flip with you, if you already have the lead. But I mean, then again, with how bad Allgaier's crew has been this year, maybe you don't risk it. Ever see the photo of you wearing a Kyle Busch t-shirt and kissing the bricks? I think I did. I can't confirm, though. So the gap to Quaffle's doubled from 3/10 to now 7/10. But it's not expanding too quickly. Then another decent gap back to Retzloff. Another really decent gap back to Creed. So at the front of the pack, we're pretty spread out. Byron is trapped back there in 8th. He does lead our previous stage winner. Whoa, we have a car on the wall. It's the 92 and the 48. So that's Patrick Staropoli or Patrick Stars. I called him all of last year because I didn't want to try to pronounce his name. Leland Honeyman Jr. and Patrick Staropoli. Staropoli. So we already have several cars out of the race. Natalie Decker, Nathan Burr, Joey Gase, Jesse Love, Corey Day. And now, potentially, the 92. I don't know if the 48 will be done. The 92 might be done. They have the window net down. Yeah, never, Jason. I will literally obliterate anyone that would. All right, no replay of this last caution, but it's a bit early. CW will probably get one posted once we get back from commercial. They're already showing replays. That's a massive hit there for the 92. He really backed it in. Damage doesn't look too bad, but I mean, the whole rear bumper cover is missing. Oh, he backed it down. Like maybe he checked up going into the corner. And Brennan Poole wasn't expecting it and sent him up the track. Oh, wow. That's very different. I think that was the 44. Maybe it wasn't. He's not running like terribly. 21st. I need to see another replay of that. Thought that was the 44. I'm not sure if it was. Oh yeah, the rear end is destroyed on that car. I hadn't seen this angle. Yeah, the 92 is for sure done. I just thought the rear bumper cover was missing. But no, it's crushed in. It was Brennan Poole. To me, it looks like the 91 maybe just backed out of it a little quicker than Poole thought he would. We have brothers, and then we have a sister, a couple sisters. Stacy and... What's the name of the lady that joins us on Sundays? I can't remember. If I saw her name pop up in chat, I would know immediately. I think we have a few women that pop in here every once in a while. I am not referring to Warren. No, it's Pamela. Pamela's one of them. That's who it is. So this is an interesting stat line. Before we ever started doing the face cam, this, camera here, our audience was like 90% or 95% male. And then when I started doing the face cam, it went to an 80-20 split. We gained women viewers. Golly. The ladies, man. Yeah. Not anymore, dude. I am unk status. Oh, my wife has said if I had to go back in the dating market right now, nope, it wouldn't happen. I'm out of practice and washed up. I don't have it. And I can feel it. I can feel that I don't have it. It's gone. It's like those perishable skills they used to talk about in the army. If you don't use it, you lose it. That's how it is for me. It's gone. The fire's gone. That and like it would just be a nightmare to be dating. A doggy. They're showing a dog on the TV. It's a cute little dog. All the AI. Think about it. Think about this, Gunter. You know, with social media, with online dating and stuff. Watch it, Jason. It's the month of June. We can't joke about this. As soon as July 1st hits, oh, it's open season. Why is the Monopoly guy on The Simpsons? Oh, it's not a episode, it's just a app? Oh yeah, so going back to the dating market in today's society. So we had to deal with filters, you know, on social media, on like online dating apps, you know, a lot of filters or like just misleading photos. Nowadays, these people can just put completely fake profiles together that look real. Or it could be based off the real life picture, but they can be like, oh, ChatGPT, make me 20 pounds skinnier. Ooh. Make me pretty. Jason, I think you just got on the last boat out. You got on the last helicopter out of Vietnam. Because I think AI is probably going to destroy, at least temporarily, online dating. Because you won't be able to trust people's profiles. It was already bad, but I think it's way worse. Yeah. Especially with how many things in common you and Trisha have. I think it worked out really well. I think you guys are a good match. And thank goodness you got it done when you did. Because I think it's just going to get worse for a while. Very blessed. Oh, no. Caution is back out again. The caution 200 or 250, whatever this race is. Yeah, 250. The caution 250. This is nuts. We can't get a clean run. Uh-oh, Leland Honeyman. I mean, yeah, he's definitely in the garage, so probably going to be our next victim. Gonna have 6 cars out of the race here shortly. Oh, it was Brennan Poole again. The Brintimidator. Brennan Poole just collected another victim. We usually don't see Brennan get involved in anything. He's typically a very clean driver, good at, you know, bringing his cars home in one piece. And thankfully, neither car was damaged there. It looks like the 38 escaped without any serious contact. So back under caution. We're going to get a restart here, probably with 6 laps to go, maybe 5 to go. We'll have a short run to the finish. You ghosted her, Jason. You just had to get into your final form. You weren't ready yet. Everything happened when it was supposed to. All right. Allgaier or Quaffle. A lot of these guys are coming down pit road now. So our... I don't know if this is a great call. Our pit window, I think, is 39 laps. I mean, you're making this a one stop at the end, but you're going to have to stop for longer. If it was a green flag stop, you would end up having to take more fuel, which would lose valuable time on track. Consider that. Versus staying out here, getting stage points, and then losing a ton of ground, losing a ton of track position to start stage 3. Maybe you get involved in a wreck. Or maybe you just get mired back in traffic, and then you would lose maybe 5-10 seconds to the leader when they make their stop, and then you wouldn't make up that fuel difference. So it wouldn't matter as much. So probably a good call here to come down. I had to do the math there. I think our pit window is 39 laps, but with how many cautions we've had, they might be able to stretch it to like, 42, 43. We'll see. To be fair, you were in the process of saving money to buy the house that Steven, his younger brother, and Jason are in. Being very frugal with money at the time. Yeah. Dating's expensive, or at least it can be. Especially, because us guys, we have to foot the bill. And then you're not just losing money, you're also losing your time. So hopefully it's invested well. Sounds like it worked out for you. I know there are a ton of people out there that spend money, they spend their time, and then nothing, it doesn't lead to anything. Good night. I need like some wax or something I can put over this hole in my lip. That hurts. Oh, not another wedding, Jason. I think I legally have to go to one more wedding, at least in the near term. Thankfully, I'm probably not going to be like in the wedding, thank goodness, so I don't have to dress up as much. But if it was the right time, might be able to make that happen. That would be interesting. Been to a few weddings, been to a few. And I would rather go to yours than the other one that I have to go to. Gonna be the bouncers? Yeah, yeah. How do we get the Colts to let you and Trisha get married on the 50-yard line of Lucas Oil Stadium? How do we make that happen? On the bricks at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All right, Brent Cruz staying out. Parker Retzlaff up here. Retzlaff with some older tires here. He was one of the cars that I think that flipped the first stage. Jeremy Clements up there. Zilich back up there. This could be potentially a good recovery for Zilich. Byron's the first car out. No, Nick Sandra's the first car out that recently pit. I'm not sure if they played strategy there. Took tires. But Byron has the edge on Allgaier. I think that's the battle we should be watching. That and Taylor Gray. And Taylor Gray already pulling out, looking low. He's going to dive back in line. He's going to be stuck middle here. Middle 3 wide. Parker Retzlaff clear. Gonna slide up in front of Brent Cruz. All right, Retzlaff with a little gap here. Oh, no! Another car on the wall. Kyle Sieg. We're staying green. Thank goodness. I was worried NASCAR was going to throw another caution there. Yeah, you have a work family and a NASCAR family. Oh, for sure, Jason. And thank you for being here. It's a big time commitment just to stop by the chats. I know there's, so much that's available to do any given day. There's other streamers. There's, just the race itself. Le Mans is on right now. There's World Cup stuff going on, NBA Finals stuff going on. And then, if you have a TV show you like watching, that can take up your time. New movies are coming out. I mean, there's always stuff to do. And some of you guys choose to be here with us every week. So that's really special. Brent Cruz is still close. He's pressuring Retzlaff. Probably going to get by him here. Retzlaff going to battle back on the outside. Brent Cruz will have the inside here. And he is clear. Whoa. Retzlaff is bouncing over those bumps along the inside line. Car looked like it jumped sideways across the bumps. Denhausen's picking the Knicks to win the NBA championship. Yeah, I think didn't he curse the Spurs? I thought they were cursed. I hear he's going by Knickshausen. He legit might be supernatural. He came out in support of the Knicks, and they have won all but one game for the last, 2 months. And I think Danhausen himself, I think he's 9-0. I think that's his record since he joined the WWE. All right, white flag is out in stage 2. Looks like the Toyotas are going to sweep the stages today. Normally that's Allgaier, but Allgaier has willingly flipped the last 2 stages. But Allgaier already earned his way, or raced his way back up to 3rd place. And Allgaier might even steal away 2nd place here. Doesn't look like he's close enough to make a move here. Let's see what he does here in the tunnel turn. Not really that good of a run. All right, can Justin do something here out of 3? He's looking to the inside. Justin's not going to make it. Or will he? He got him at the line. I didn't know he had that much momentum. And then they switched the camera angle, and I was like, oh, wow. He's actually jumping to the inside, making up ground. So Justin Allgaier stealing away 2nd place in the stage. So no stage wins, but good stage points for Justin Allgaier. Look at that. Rajah Caruth up there getting stage points. He needs these. He needs these really bad. Byron up there stealing away points. Zilich stealing away points from other potential stage point earners. Sam Mayer still up here. Jeremy Clements, Anthony Alfredo. Up there. I'm not sure if they pit. So they may have flipped the stage and just lost track position. This whole running order is going to be shaken up once we get back from the stage break. Because there are a lot of guys that still need to pit. Jason says, totally different subject, but taking Trisha to her first independent wrestling show in the 29th. This friend's wrestling promotion called WCWO, Wild Championship Wrestling Outlaws. If I ever learn enough moves to participate in a short match, I'll call him up then. I have the connection. So that'll be the organization I make my one and only wrestling appearance for. I want to take a chair shot to the head. That's my goal. So know these like caution laps take forever. You know, it's a long track. I wish that they would go ahead and start breaking down who's going to come down and pit here, who needs to pit. Honestly, depending on when some of these guys last pit, they might be able to run an additional 10-15 laps and just pit a single time. They don't have to pit here and give up track position, but then they would be on pit road longer. So, you know, you're on older tires than these other guys. I mean, you should probably just pit here, but and potentially some of these guys could stay out if they wanted to and just pit once. Try to make it to lap like 63, 64. Enough to feel safe. You have a big dent on your forehead from a steel chair shot from backyard wrestling and you're 15. Oh, dear. I think it would be safer to take the chair shot in the back of the, like, just on the back. That's what they do nowadays in the big promotions. But on occasion, especially independent, you'll still see some chair shots to the head. I just don't want to get my scalp split open. I've seen that happen. Don't want to need stitches. I need to take some big moves. I would love to do it. If we had more people in chat, I totally would. I think you and I might be the only people to respond to the poll. Chinese, Mexican, or Thai? I don't know what I'm gonna eat tonight if my wife's not here. I think she may be heading to the beach after work. It depends on how late she gets done at work. So I might be left to fend for myself. I have a frozen pizza in the freezer. I could make that and save some money. Rusty said last weekend he watched another live feed of the race and one of the guys was literally falling over, passed out drunk. That is wild. That is wild. You only see us drinking Ty Gibbs juice and Diet Coke or Dr. Pepper here. I also had a Kool-Aid earlier. I mean, we get a little crazy. I got the Kool-Aid. Yeah, we get a little crazy. I have some chocolate milk in the fridge. Yeah, there's some wild people on the internet. There's one guy I know of. He's a Call of Duty guy. He has drank so much, and specifically Jaeger, which is apparently has a high sugar content from what I've heard. And then like alcohol, breaks down into sugar, I believe as well. There's just a ton of sugar. He drank his way. That's exactly who it is. That's exactly who it is. You know who it is. I didn't want to say his name out loud. I don't want to slander this person because I know they're going through some stuff. But, yeah, drank his way into diabetic necrosis or diabetes necrosis, whatever it's called. Had to get the bottom half of his foot sawed off, but he's passed out on stream multiple times. It's a shame. He was, we're gonna lose. I have heard of that person. It's funny what he does, but I also hate it because it has inspired so many other people to do the same thing. So now when you go in the NASCAR video games, half the time you're just getting wrecked intentionally. It's so frustrating. It's funny, but at the same time, I'm like, I hate this guy. Thankfully, I don't think I've ever run into him online, but I hardly ever race online. Rusty's a ball knower. Knows about Blade. So Leland Honeyman, they haven't ruled him out of the race, apparently. I don't think that car is salvageable. They're just a bit delayed, I guess, on ruling him out completely. or it's just an error on behalf of the data. But I mean, that he's not coming back to the race, right? He's got to be done. Now, we're going to lose. He does this voice changer. You guys may have seen these videos. He's been around for probably the last, 6-7 years. Going back to like the NASCAR heat days. And he makes videos where he like intentionally wrecks people, or he like starts arguments in the voice chat. He'll force people to drive down pit road. That's diabolical. Yeah, Blade has done some bad stuff for sure. But I know for a while he got sober. And then something got him to drink like one time. And that he fell off the wagon. And now, he's lost half his foot. So that's how it goes. All right, that sounds good, Jason. That sounds good. And we are at 26 caution laps on lap 54. That's almost half of the laps we've run under caution. That's not NASCAR's fault exactly. Good night. If we have 10 cautions in a stage, there's no reason to throw the stage break, to throw a stage caution. You can award points, but you don't have to stop the race. This is the Arby's stage break. I like that, Arby's. I'm not thinking Arby's tonight, though. Every once in a while, Arby's will send me a coupon, though. And it's a really good deal. Like, they have some really good deals in their little mail coupon thing. My wife might actually be hiding them from me, so we don't go to Arby's as often. I haven't seen one in a while. For sure, Jason, we are very blessed. Rusty said DD12 saving the day again. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, maybe not like the majority, but there's definitely a lot of people we've heard from, especially when our streams used to get a lot more viewers, that would come in here like, my area doesn't have the CW, or they'll like, this was maybe even more common. People would come in here and say their CW affiliate was showing like basketball or some random paid programming. So, a lot of people have to rely on DD12 or the TV app or some other website to get access to the race, which is why I don't mind sharing, that information about DD12. It's like, I would hate to miss the race. I know how expensive TV packages are, and like, it's hard to afford that kind of thing. Arby's is bringing back the Philly. I don't think I ever tried the Arby's Philly. I did for the first time try out their burger. It wasn't good. And then it was just very mid. And then I tried out their barbecue sandwich, which was actually not bad. And I had the spicy sauce, and it was pretty good. Obviously not local joint quality, but for a fast food barbecue sandwich, not bad. Especially like when you consider it's from Arby's. I think my favorite fast food barbecue sandwich is from think it's Dickies. I get the sweet, spicy barbecue sauce. That's good. That's good stuff. But the one near my apartment has a really low health score, so I don't go often. So Allgaier has the lead here on the restart, but Sam Mayer and Anthony Alfredo are pushing really hard. Alfredo actually trying to pass for second place here. That's impressive. I thought Mayer had a ton of speed, but Alfredo trying to muscle Mayer out of the way. Now, Mayer's teammate, Sheldon Creed, right behind him. So can these two work together to get back by Anthony Alfredo? Anthony Alfredo potentially looking to the inside for the lead. He looked for a second. Does Alfredo have the speed? Could this be the day? Dickies is good. They have them by you down there in Florida. I like Florida. I like Florida. There are some nice parts. There are some less nice parts. But, man, it would be so nice to be down there close to the rocket launches. Just be able to go into my backyard and look up and see a rocket going to space. And then you have all the theme parks down there. You have, Miami. And you have Daytona if you want your NASCAR fix. Yes, the whole race, yes. When Trisha and Jason have Arby's, she gets the regular roast beef and white cheddar mac and cheese. And you get 6 half-pound beef and cheddars. I get usually 1 or 2 half pounds, and then I might get like cheese sticks, maybe the crinkle fries, maybe a cherry turnover, and then I might even get a 3rd half pound or a regular, and then just save it for later. Been in St. Pete all but 6 years of your life. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, if I was gonna, if I had my pick of where I would move other than here, if I wanted to move somewhere, and not permanently, just for maybe the next few years, Staten Island, or Titusville in Florida. One of those two wildly different places. Jamocha shake, not bad. Occasionally I'll get a shake from them as well. I don't usually get Jamocha though. More of a vanilla or chocolate kind of guy. But it's been a while since I've had a Jamocha. And I know recently they've had the orange cream milkshake. Hey, I can talk about some Arby's. I know all about the Arby's. I ring the bell. I don't know if you guys' Arby's still has the bell. Mine do. I still ring it to this day. Good night. My neck would not pop. I was dying there. No. I just a couple days ago on stream, I had a Red Sox shirt on from their 2013 championship. Does Arby's still have the poppers? The chicken bites, those things, or the jalapeno poppers? If it's the jalapeno thing, I believe so. My wife occasionally gets those. All right, they just said 38 laps to go. We are in our fuel window. So when will these guys like to come down? You stay out and hope you got your caution. We've had so many lately. This is probably our longest green flag run of the race right here. Do you stay out and try to get a caution, or do you come in early and then hope to flip the running order? Depends on if you're taking tires or not. The jalapeno poppers, yeah. The reason, so like Arby's, it's not the most consistent, especially from location to location. But Arby's is not very popular. And that's fine. Because it means almost every time you go to the restaurant, you will have pretty much the whole place to yourself. It's not loud. It's not dirty. Just chill. And most of them have been remodeled, and it's not like the best remodel. It's literally just wallpaper and different lights. But it's nice. Nice enough. Jason said he's going to stop by a Speedway gas station and get an iced coffee. Not bad, not bad. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, man. Hope you have a good one and have fun hanging out with Trisha. And you need to update us on what you decide to eat. Will it be Chinese? Will it be Mexican? What was the other option? Or Thai. There's only one in all of St. Pete. Sounds like St. Pete has good taste. I'm sure you guys probably have a Culver's by now. I know Culver's has been expanding really quickly in Florida. I have a few friends down there that I've just met through this. And they do YouTube. Some of them at a pretty big scale, but they are big fans of Culver's. And they may have actually went on, I don't think on stream, but on a video. They drove around town and ranked the best fries. That's a great idea, Jason. Welcome back, King. Sam Mayer is still all over Justin Allgaier. Mayer might have the fastest car, but Justin is just so consistent. And Justin could also be saving his stuff. I mean, no reason to push really hard yet. Could be somewhat fuel saving. It's hard to say without seeing the data. People love that place, yeah. Yeah, they think it's awesome. You know, for years they didn't have Culver's, and so they never really got to experience it. They'd heard about it, mostly from people in the Midwest. But a couple years ago when they built the first Culver's down there by Tampa, they went there and just love it. Go there pretty frequently, from what I hear. All right, we'll see you, Jason. All right, so Sam Mayer now with position. Now, is he going to pull away from Allgaier, or is Justin just going to follow his toe around the track? We just need to see. This will really tell us who has the better car here. Mayor's kind of stretching it out already. Powers Hamburgers. I have not heard of that, I don't think. Fort Wayne's a bit of a drive. I've spent a little time in Fort Wayne. Oh, look at this. They do sliders. That's a ton of onions. That is a ton of onions, but it looks good. I would just get the onions taken off. Occasionally, onions will give me a crazy migraine. I also see some chili. Some chili dogs. So it's like a local version of a White Castle or Crystal. Looks good. Fries look decent. It looks a lot like McDonald's fries, honestly. So Mayor and Allguy are all over each other. And Creed is 2 seconds back. He's not in competition right now. They also have a food truck. Wow. I like the old school menu. That's nice. I can see their prices here. So 12 burgers for $22. Not too bad. Trisha did a Google review. Let me go to the review section. Oh, I didn't find her by name. More reviews. I just want to read all the reviews, Google. I hate how they have Google laid out now. All right, so Allguyer's down pit road. There are so many reviews. I don't think I'm going to find it unless I go one by one. $12 doubles with cheese, a lot of onions, 8 large fries, large Mountain Dew. Yeah, I wasn't able to find the review. There are so many, and Google doesn't show all of them like they used to. So I would have to go page by page to find it. I may do that eventually. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Jeremy Clements with the lead right now. He still needs to pit. So Creed made up a lot of ground by short pitting. So Sam Mayer will have to run his teammate back down. Allgaier was not able to get by Mayer during his pit cycle. So 2 teammates and then 2 JRM guys behind. And Zilich and Byron really irrelevant. They're a little further back, but they're not in the conversation. Allgaier just laid down the fastest lap of the race. Following right behind Sam Mayer. Not really able to close in, though. I think it's only a matter of time before Mayer gets by Creed. And then Allgaier will have to clear Creed, which will probably give Mayer time to run away with it. If we don't get a caution, this could be Mayer's race. Unless, long run, Allgaier can run him back down. Still a long way to go in this race. And several casualties for today's race. 2 cars a lap down. A few more may go a lap down during this pit cycle. Byron came down about 5 laps earlier than, or 5 laps later than Taylor Gray. I don't know if that's enough of an advantage to gap him here on track. But Byron's close. He's going to get held up here behind the lap car. Just a couple seconds back from Taylor Gray. And Gray and Smith are duking it out right now. Could we see a late race surge for Taylor Gray? He's about 5 seconds back from our leader. That's a lot of time to cut by yourself if you're not going to have drafting help all the way there. All right, exactly how we said it would play out. Allgaier's getting held up a little by Sheldon Creed. This is letting Mayer run away with it. All right, Allgaier is clear for now. Does Justin have speed enough to run down Sam Mayer without the help of the draft? There's a lot of reviews. Yeah. I was trying to scroll through all of them, and I was doing Control F to try to find Trisha's name. I didn't see it. I used to know this lady's name on the Kohl's commercial, but I have forgotten it. And she was like, I wouldn't say a big name actor, but she was a big TV actor. She even had her own Netflix show. She was in the later seasons of The Office. And then she just kind of disappeared. Maybe like COVID killed her career. Like, who's to say? But now she's just in the Kohl's commercial, which is pretty good. It's pretty good to be like the face of a brand. But it's not the same prestige as, you know, being a TV or a movie actor. We saw some contact there on track. We could still get a caution that could shake all of this up. I mean, have we run enough laps where any of these guys that have already pit come back down, or would you not give up the track position? I mean, if enough guys came down, it's a no-brainer to come down as well. But if you're like 8th or 9th, and then no one really behind you pits, you're just losing spots, and the tires aren't going to make up that big of a difference. It seems like there's a decent amount of fall off with this tire. Just looking at it. Side by side. Justin's best lap, 55.3. They're currently running a 56.2 about. Sam Mayer, 55.4. Now, these numbers are a bit skewed because that's possibly, you know, with draft. Also running about a 56.2. So potentially around a half a second to fall off, if not closer to a full second where they're at now. And then some of the guys that have stayed out longer are at about 2 seconds of fall off. A new track record. Mayer's doing a great job through traffic here. Allgaier doesn't really have the car right now to run down Mayer. At least it doesn't look like it. But Justin excels on long runs on old tires compared to a lot of these younger drivers. But Sam Mayer is no rookie. Not at this point. Did I hear about host of our parking is late model? I did. I thought it was a right rear, but it could have been the right front. 38 around front on the front stretch. That's the Army National Guard car. We haven't really seen a National Guard or an Army car in a long while. Like the military just left the sport for a long time, other than the Air Force. Air Force stayed, even like with a very small presence. For several years. They'd run like 1 or 2 races a year. But the Army, you know, they used to have a car. They had a National Guard car. And then if you go back far enough, I mean, even like, I think the Navy and the Coast Guard had cars. I don't think the Marines did. All right, so this begins the discussion, what we were talking about a second ago. Do you come in and take tires? I mean, if you're further back and you know you're not going to win and you really think that, you know, maybe with another caution and gaining a few spots in the restart, you might be able to improve your position, then sure, you come in and take fresh tires. I mean, if you're really far back and you're already running a second off the pace of the leaders, fresh tires are only going to mask the problem for so long. Bang. That's a good looking car, good enough looking. Yeah, I did hear about Hocevar. I know a lot of people initially thought he just quit the race, rage quit. And so people are saying like, oh, is he going to lose sponsors? He should lose a sponsor. He's a quitter. He's basically Natalie Decker. And then the full story came out that it was a new car. They thought they had an issue with the car and they might, you know, end up damaging it, costing the team a lot of money. So they just decided to park it. So overall, like, I understand, but it's still, even with that, you know, being known, it's odd to see a guy quit out of a race. But they're trying to save it for a bigger. Well, so from what the team said, they built that car not really for this race. There's some bigger race later this year, and they're specifically trying to save the car for that weekend. This race was just kind of a tune-up race. Hocevar strikes me as the guy, though, that, like, because he races in NASCAR, and I only base this off of what he does in iRacing. I don't have any other, you know, knowledge about him, you know, personally, other than that. Because he's in NASCAR, because he's actually a professional driver in real life, he doesn't take the lower stuff seriously. And I'm not saying that's what happened here with this late model race, but I know in iRacing, half the time he's not even looking at the screen, and he's racing with one hand against guys that are, you know, work full-time jobs, 40 hours minimum, you know, actually trying to just have a good race, a fun race. That's what they're doing with their evening. That's what they are doing with their day, their time off of work. And, you know, they're taking it seriously. Hocevar just drives it into the corner one-handed, not even looking at the screen, and just wads up like 3 or 4 cars. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the initial plan, you know, if you're going to go with what the team said, I don't think their initial plan was to save the car. You know, they're trying to tune it up, get it ready for that bigger race. But if they really thought they were going to have an issue that could, you know, obviously end, not just in their day, but in that car's life cycle, then parking it's maybe not a bad call. But again, you know what I said a little earlier, it's so weird to see somebody quit a race. You don't normally see that, especially when the car is still running. You know, you don't see that really ever. Darkson says, greetings from Pocono. Welcome, welcome, sir. Hope everything's going well for you guys. What's the weather like there? I know it's been a lot of caution laps. Good night at the caution laps. Let's take a look at that. We're at 29 of 84. So over a third of the laps have been run under caution. Ridiculous. Oh, not at Pocono. Sad. $78 there right now. It's a great day. Tomorrow, though, let's look at the precipitation values. There's a chance of rain, but it's not too high. Goes up to 20% at 4 p.m., which is around the time the race starts, a little after. It might be right at the start time where it jumps up to 20, and then later more. Hopefully we stay green tomorrow. Yeah, I've heard so many good things about Pocono from fans that go and attend. But Pocono, especially with the late Gen 6 car, and with this, even the Gen 7 car, not the best racing. It may be a little better with the Gen 7 car, but good night. Those Gen 6 races here at Pocono, the late Gen 6 races, were rough. But apparently the fan experience is really good. I've heard so many good things about the track. That's not bad. Being able to, like, take a golf cart maybe or a bike to the grocery store. Bristol's, like, kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's not really like a big city around Bristol, but there are like grocery stores and stuff. And then if you wanted to stay in a bigger area, you could drive back to Knoxville, or you could go stay in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge. That's not too bad. And then like you have tracks like Charlotte where it's like right there in the town. You know, big metropolitan area. And then you have Atlanta, where it's just a bit, I think, south of the city. Then you have Nashville, where it's east of the city, but still close enough. Kingsport and Johnson City are pretty big. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, you know? Like, if it's enough just of, like, hotels and stuff, then sure. But if you're looking for, like, more things to do, I think Knoxville might be the next biggest place. But Knoxville, you know, it's a college town. It's a bit bigger than your average college town, though. What I usually do is I just drive back to Gatlinburg, and I stay in Gatlinburg because I like Gatlinburg. I like visiting. Oops, close the leaderboard. Yeah, Johnson City, probably a better option if you don't want to stay too far away. Like if you're going multiple days, that's not a bad option. Or you could just stay in Bristol, either one. Bristol, Tennessee, or Bristol, Virginia. When you were in Knoxville, it felt sketchy. It depends on where you're at. It can be. I know I had this homeless guy try to fight me one time. I didn't know he was trying to fight me. Apparently, like, he was talking crazy to me, saying some crazy stuff, but I didn't know he was talking to me until I got right up on him. If I had heard and processed what he had said to me before then, we have cars going around, multiple cars around, and right in front of the field. Oh! Sammy Smith's gonna survive somehow. How did we make it through clean? How did we make it through that clean? Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith both around. How did we get through that clean? They spun in front of the field, sent up a smoke screen, blocking the whole track, and no one piled into them. Update on Le Mans. Toyota leads hypercar. Yeah, I've been watching a bit of that. I had the Corvette onboards pulled up and the race pulled up before we went live here. When I stopped watching, Bourdais was leading at the time. He had just taken his off-track excursion, if you saw that. Oh, dear. Yeah, golly. I feel, it's bad for homeless people. It is. But when you're in a big city and you deal with so many homeless people, it's one thing like Knoxville. It's not like a big city. You're not going to see like a crazy amount of homeless people. If you're in like a New Orleans, there's a lot. If you're in Dallas, there's a ton. New York City kind of hides theirs pretty well, and I think a lot of them stay in Brooklyn and Queens. In Manhattan, like, you might see the occasional person sleeping on the sidewalk, but the last mayor at least did a great job of policing that and not letting big homeless camps build up. Go over to the web page and see the official timing. Can I even access the timing without signing up? I think it started at maybe, I don't know what time zone you're in, but I think it was like 11 Eastern. And it's been, it's like 6:30 Eastern now. 7 hours about. If my math is correct, there should be about 16 and a half hours left, maybe. They start later in the day than the Rolex race does. I think they started the race like 4 or 5 local time, PM. And so they get into the night cycle much quicker. And the night cycle, that's when the stuff happens. That's when the stuff happens. Rajah Kruth, 7 points below the cut line right now. Yeah, so back to the homeless conversation while we're under caution here. You know, I've helped out, I would say, more than my fair share of homeless people, just in one-on-one situations. And a lot of people don't give money anymore, and I try not to. If I'm in a, if it's a situation, it depends, situation to situation, if I will. But man, I got swindled in Dallas. I was helping one homeless person, and then while I was helping that homeless person, like 2 or 3 more homeless people came in the store with us, and then I was buying everybody snacks. It was, yeah, I try not to give money, though. Try just to give food. So like, I'll take a homeless person. Like, oh, you want money? Well, how about like food? Are you hungry? I'll take you in Walmart. You can get some snacks, some food. Take you in McDonald's. You can get whatever you want. I try not to give just money. But honestly, in New York City, I don't think I've been bothered by a homeless person. Oh, no. So not a homeless person, but me and my buddy did get bothered by this, like, rather rotund fellow while we were up there. And he started telling us this sob story, like, oh, my dad is in surgery, but I'm here. I don't have enough for a bus ticket or a train ticket. And it's like, buddy, you're walking around the touristy part of town. You have a large soda in your hand. It's clear that you're just chilling. Why would you come to the city to visit if your dad is having surgery? Like, none of his story made sense. And so we just walked off. And then he started yelling obscenities at us, and it's like, bro, like, so I said he's rather rotund. The reason why I point that out is he started calling my buddy very rude things in regards to his weight, but buddy's not that large. Like, he may weigh a bit more, but like, he carries it very well. So like, I was like, who are you to cast the first stone, Tubby? Looks like you just ate a can of lard. Looks like you were eating straight out of a jar of Crisco. And you come up here, tell us a fake sob story, and then start hurling obscenities at us. How dare you? How dare you? And also, if you're a homeless person, don't give me a big sob story. Don't do it. You can just ask me if you can get some help, whether it's cash or food, and I'll assess the situation. Don't give me a sob story. But anyway, I normally don't mind. But in Dallas, it became an issue because one guy tried to fight me. He wanted me to throw the first punch. He was way smaller than me too, so I was like, I'm okay with this. But you never know if somebody has a knife or a gun or something, so you don't want to instigate a fight if you don't have to. But anyway, they were camping outside of the convenience stores and outside of the fast food joints in downtown Dallas. So, like, you're going in there to spend money. They know you are there to spend money. And so they're like, oh, can you just get some extra cash while you're in there? I even had a homeless person say, oh, I got Cash App. And they pull out their phone. And I was like, nah, bro. Good night. I mean, there were a lot, like, I'd say a fair amount of homeless people in New Orleans, but they're not around the touristy areas. They're just kind of off, like, under overpasses and stuff. But Dallas, they were everywhere. Just outside of my hotel, downtown Dallas, a nice, nicer part of the downtown area with some more upscale hotels. I was staying in a really nice hotel. There were like 40 homeless guys behind the hotel in this little, like, park area, just sleeping. And then, like, the other part is when you deal with the homeless on the subways. DC is a little nicer. There, before, these last couple years with the guard being stationed in DC, the subway in DC had gotten a little unsafe. A lot of thefts going on at knife point, at gunpoint. Now it's not as bad, and it's cleaner, it's wider, it's newer than New York. But in New York, And you can have homeless people peeing, pooping, get people getting lit on fire. But then you just have like people having obvious mental health issues on the train with you. And you're stuck on it for at least, you know, a minute to 3 minutes, however long it takes to get to the next stop. And then you're like, do you just wait for the next train? I mean, you could lose 15 minutes waiting on another train to come through. And then there's a chance you get stuck on the platform with that person. And it's just annoying. Sometimes oh, another caution, multiple cars involved. My goodness, we're gonna have a shootout to the finish. This may be a green, white, checkered. LeVar Scott, beautiful looking 45 Sunoco machine. Sunoco usually has really good schemes. But there was one time my wife and I were waiting on the platform for a train to come through. And there was a guy towards the left end of the platform, and he was rolling around in broken glass. He had like glass bottles around him. He was breaking them and rolling around in the glass. And I didn't see this, but apparently I was probably not paying attention to that whole thing. I'm always looking around. But I was trying not to like stare at this thing. But apparently the cops went over there. They came down and were like getting him up off the ground. Not sure what they did with him. He was having a hard time. And this, the last time, I don't think it was the last time I was there, but when I was there with my buddy, at the line for the New Jersey Transit machine, where you get your train ticket to go into Manhattan, there's a guy having a very obvious like mental health issue. He was pacing, making sounds and stuff. And my goodness, the body odor this person was putting off. Rough. He was camping the ticket area too. It was like hard to get by him to get to the ticket machine. Yeah, I don't get bothered in New York really, but Dallas is just overrun with homeless people. And again, you know, there's levels to it. I'm sure it's worse in Los Angeles, San Francisco. But man, I couldn't go into a single convenience store in Dallas without getting heckled for money. And the last time I was in Dallas too, I was broke. So like, these people are asking me for money, and I'm like, brother, the only thing that separates you from me is a paycheck. Like I am one paycheck away. I am one unscheduled large transaction away from asking you for money. Anyway, I have a lot to say on that subject. The race is red flag. They're trying to preserve the lap count of the race. It doesn't matter, though, because once we go back under the yellow flag, we're still going to run at least 2 laps under caution, if not 3, and restart with like 2 to go. So we're probably still looking at a green, white, checkered either way. Allgaier with the lead here. Byron third. Can Byron get involved in this? Or can Byron help out Justin Allgaier potentially? You have 2 teammates there, but then you also have Sam Mayer and Sheldon Creed that'll probably be lined up. Then you have Brent Cruz, our first Toyota entry. Our only Toyota entry in the top 5. Can he go into business for himself? Rajah's up there in 8th. That is not bad. Let me see if we can find a replay of this last caution. Why we are under the red flag. No, we have a replay of the restart. This is... Okay, so we have a replay of the last caution. This one's wild. So you have a tandem spin here. They both spin in front of the field. Gray more than Smith. Gray actually got a little contact with the inside wall. I didn't see that. Both go around here. And somehow everybody's able to back it down and get by. When I saw Gray come back across the track, I was expecting somebody to get into him. Man. Thank goodness the track is so wide, but a lot of these guys probably went low to avoid the wreck and then almost ran right into Gray. And they couldn't run their normal line because Sammy Smith was up there spinning out. What a mess. Let's see, do we have an update here? No, nothing here yet. We don't have a replay of why we were under this last caution. This is going to come down to potentially which teammate pushes better. Can Byron push? Or will Sheldon Creed be able to outpush him? You know, it's obviously going to come down to this restart. And then if those two can get nose to tail again. If the 48's able to follow the 7 through, you know, fall into second place or even take the lead on the restart, then those two will have to battle it out on the final lap, whenever that is. That's some big hits today. I don't think anyone's hit harder than Corey Day, though. That first wreck was probably the worst. All right, here we go. Zoom in on that. So Scott just got loose, it looks like. And down the track. Oh, no, that was Jeb that got loose. Okay, Jeb gets loose, comes down the track, and collects LeVar and Dexter Bean. How about that? Just looking at the path of the car, I assumed this was LeVar. Glad we zoomed in on it. That's the contact to LeVar. And then LeVar gets hit by Dexter Bean. So all three cars with some pretty heavy damage there. Maybe that shows a little bit about what precipitated that. Ah, that tells a different story. Maybe the 99? Is it the 99 or is it the 40? Yeah, it's the 99. Some contact here. Got him upset. Wasn't able to save it, though. Man. Yeah, not really a great angle of this crash. This is probably the best one, but the angle from the rear tells the full story. This one, you're just able to see a bit more. It's just a little too zoomed out at this point. Man, Jeb tried to save it. He was fighting that thing. He was just up there in the marbles, I'm sure. That's rough. Man, we have had several casualties. I think we're going to have 3 more here. Carson Ware, by virtue of just surviving, is going to get through this one with the top 30. But, I mean, not too bad. Patrick, Ryan, they both have damage. They're still in it. Sawalich had damage. Still up there. Taylor Gray went around, collected the inside wall, but didn't seem like there was too much damage on that Taylor Gray machine. Still getting after it. Connor Zilich with some pretty big damage to the rear end of that car. They were able to get it taped back up relatively well. I don't think he had race-winning pace to begin with. Still under red flag, by the way. Oh, cars are rolling. Yellow flag. As soon as I said it, we started rolling. Here we go, setting up for potentially the last restart of the race. Might actually end up going into overtime if we get another caution. We've had so many this race. Right now sitting at 36 caution laps. I'll be right back before we end out this race. Not bad. 16 races without an overtime finish. Can we make it through 3 turns? Can we make it through 3 turns and get this race official? All right, the lights are out on the pace car. Coming through the final turn. Pace car about to pull off the track. We're going to make a 2-lap run to the finish. They're already making contact before the restart zone. Sheldon Creed's pulling out. He's going low. Sheldon Creed just screwed over his teammate. Justin Allgaier might be our winner if they don't wreck right here. Brent Cruz going to make a run at it. Byron may be able to hold off Brent Cruz and secure this win for Junior Motorsports. Now, we don't know if they're going to make it back around green. Sheldon Creed just screwed over his teammate. I said it would come down to teammates, and boy did it. Just not how I thought it would. One lap to go, brought to you by Credit One Bank. Byron, 3.5 tenths back. May get a little help here from Brent Cruz. Oh, now Brent Cruz just goes for the pass, though. Through the tunnel turn. It's still about 3.5 seconds back. Not 3.5. 3.5 tenths back. For the final time. And Byron's going to lose second place here. Allgaier with the win. And Brent Cruz going to take second place. Sam Mayer 4th. Sheldon Creed 5th. So Sheldon Creed. I don't know, we don't know if Allgaier would have won that on his own anyway. But Sam Mayer definitely got his race ruined by Sheldon Creed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for us. I was going to go up to my local short track, but it seems like my wife is not leaving town today. So, seems like we will be staying put. I didn't see it, Rusty, that you said, where do I watch it? I just watch it through True TV, which might be available on the TV app. That'll do it for us. Congratulations to Justin Allgaier. What a great year he's had. Until next time, which will be tomorrow, we'll see you guys. Hope you guys have a good one. And hoping for a good race tomorrow.